But CT-sided. I know Maui's been flying this flag for picking the T starts here, and that's exactly what FURIA have done. So that's what we'll focus in on. As top mid smoke lands, they cross mid and they jump on up towards ledge.
Interesting.
It's a good way to get the mid control, but also stall out these B fights. And speaking of B fights, Roy, he's got his Julies here.
Hey. For Roy, and he's gone early, but he does deliver one headshot. The Julie's put down, and FASHR connects on that long side. Flashes are coming in. FASHR needs more. He's in trouble.
Yeah, dinked right away. Mezzi tucked in at the site. This guy very keen for a pistol round is Mezzi. And he's got them boxed in over at the cave. Smoke falls, locking FASHR out. And so Mezzi is going to feel the brunt of this pressure. Nice. Overran, but Crims with the trade. Keeps fnatic in the lead in the 3-on-2. Bomb not down yet for FURIA. And they're getting pressured inside of the site. That bomb is now away from them, and it's all left onto Art.
Do you think they're going to regret not going for the full plant there? Oh, hang on. Maybe not. Maybe not. Art's hit the first.
Was clean.
It was very clean. And Crims is low, so FASHR, if he doesn't peek out, Crims hits the first one. And it's a double for both of them. The Swede takes 2, the Dutchman 2.
Well, speaking of doubles and 2s and, well, all things with Bs, we got a B stream over there. If you heard that hootin' and hollerin', I think as Trace would say, there is the secondary matchup that we have going on. That's G2 taking on Movistar Riders, ESL_CSGO B. You can change that at the end of your Twitch URL. As far as YouTube goes, I'm not too well informed as YouTube URLs. I think they're normally 374.
I think it's like capital X, ZY, TV.
Oh, you forgot the underscore.
Oh, yes, a couple of those as well. So I like a little Tech 9. I like a CZ on the T side. Art's getting flirty with it.
This is very curious, right? The fact that they've gone for the force buy in the second round of play without the plant. But it's quite clear here this is going to be very heavy over towards A. You've got two players, Roy and Crims, ready to respond to this from Donut.
Crims has got a powerful angle. You can see Art's flash intended for Crims, but he does turn it nicely, and it's just ready on that sign. Good second, and it's Art. Drive-by on the CZ, leaps around, and has already got the sight. They're trying to disrupt. Roy can't seem to connect. FASHR's already low, and fnatic are on notice.
Big problems here. 3 MP9s to try and retake. nicoodoz being chipped down a little bit more, so FURIA may have done so, but the flash at the ready. Are they going to call this off? I think they should. Like, I really think they should call this off.
You've already lost the FAMAS.
Exactly.
You've got one more rifle. 2 of them half health. This is a terrible... retake to go for. Now they're just trying to hold on to their rifles. I say that. Time, lads.
They want to give it a go. They're getting wrapped through middle, though. So even though they're getting all these kills safe up on the boost, and with KSCERATO coming through mid, Safe's making it happen. And it's all to try and set up KSCERATO with that 1 kill onto Roy. It's locked in. And so fnatic, they try their hand at the retake. They lose 4 players in it. nicoodoz gets out with the M4, but it's a FURIA round when all is said and done.
That one's going to be very frustrating for fnatic, right? You're able to put yourself in the right positions there, but just a simple execute and you get bowled over, right? That was not a round that they'll want to remember, and one that they will likely force by behind yet again here, but that was not the start they're hoping for, fnatic.
It was the synchronicity with the donut smoke that made it like such a lockout. Like CT, donut lands, and you've lost your A defender. It was just a real brick wall erected quickly. KSCERATO, he is a bit of a demon on his mid crawls. He'll use his own perception as to when and how he continues to advance. He's got Yuri, so actually both the Fangs of Fury are working mid, and they've gone for a little crossfire setup into the cave. Trying to keep that B site on lock.
I like that it's not just super scrimmy here out the gates, doing fast mid control and running into them, right? They are going to take their time about this, and they have the advantages here, obviously with the U2 and the weaponry. This double donut setup that we can see assumed by Crims and Roy again, this time much deeper. And this is when I sent you that that message mid-match one time, Harry, when you were casting with Hugo about calling the entrance
different
names, because and Yanko piped up and he said they're calling the angles names, and that's probably a much easier way of being able to refine it, because more angles are common, right, in these type of conversations.
They have to be careful with the noise they make here. They've got 2 deep donuts, so any steps will be heard. Roy's already going to be relaying that information and preparing for a main. Does he want to smoke it? He's going to be hard-pressed to do so, but just a disruptive smoke of his own will have the crawl slowed. Art's across, and they are coming. Down goes Crims. Clean, and Roy with 1.
Well, that should be it. And you can see here that the fact that they're just having one individual throw all 3 smokes, it frees the rest up to fight their way into the site. Speaking of fight, KSCERATO in one here. And we'll deal with FASHR. Now the question is, do they try and hunt Mezzi and nicoodoz, who both want to hold on to these upgraded weapons for yet another round of play? But quite a static start. And this is one of the conversations as well. So there's so many things that we can dive into throughout these playoffs, right? We were having this conversation before we came back on air, but one was the fact that when you're here in the playoffs, if you played in Group A, which fnatic did, you played 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now you're back and you're into a fresh matchup. We heard from FURIA, well, they've been hanging around the traps here in Malta. You were just saying that they released a piece of news.
Yes, yeah, well, I think it was Harry, but he was talking about the fact that they've announced a gaming house on European soil, which is very exciting.
In Malta.
No less. But in terms of FURIA, we talk about the quality of practice, the difficulties they may have, but it's going to be wonderful to have, you know, a facility that they can use to warm up.
Why didn't they come visit us more if they were here the whole time?
It's a good point. It's a good point. We can take that up with them if they win this series and they hang around. But no, I mean, dude, like thinking about it, right? It's like Liquid. They had the issues, right? Nicoodoz spoke about it, and then we heard Nafanosi also talking about it, about, you know, the pracking in NA and how the practice isn't very good. So they tried to prac versus European teams. This was also while I think it was Complexity and FURIA weren't in the region, right? So yeah, they were playing. I think it was 130 was the exact number, like 130 ping.
Net graph or scoreboard, Harry?
If I had to guess net graph,
okay,
I'm assuming that's where they're quoting it from. Otherwise, they're underquoting the value and they're doing themselves a disservice. But yeah, you know, that's sick for FURIA. I think it really is. Getting some more time versus EU competition. This should be a done deal, really. FURIA in A, locking down this round.
No, we said they're in Europe.
FURIA in A.
That's such a cheap joke.
Yeah, so that's my favorite kind. But this has just been such a pedestrian start here on Ancient. Like, the force by win was way too easy.
I actually really like, though, that FURIA are coming into this with a bit more, like, nuance to it in these first few rounds, right? It's been these set pieces over the... Oh, my God, the USP nearly made that expensive, didn't it?
Kind of did, yeah. There's a team kill in there, so actually... a win at the end of the day.
nicoodoz is thinking like, man, if I had a kit this round, I'd be trying it. I'd be giving it a go because he gets all the kills, all of them. But the round is FURIA's. What I was going to say is I think, you know, one of the teams that, for my money at least, gave FURIA like one of their most defiant L's on this map of maybe FURIA's whole time at the top was probably like Team Spirit, for my money at least. But all the way back at Antwerp, right? This map appeared in the pool. It was one of the maps where like Patsy really just like went wild. It was him and Chopper looking really good. And a lot of that was predicated with like these fast, kind of scrappy rounds over towards mid. You would have like Art like running through the mid smokes, just on repeat over and over again. And a lot of their game plan felt centered around this fast mid control, but with how they've been taking it to open up, it's been a lot more lurky. It's been like KSCERATO just kind of prodding it on timings, right? And then if they do want to take mid, they throw the full util set a little later in the round and then try to get involved. Even here, right? Sure, they're dedicating a man out through middle, but it's KSCERATO doing it with supportive util later in the round. There's no molly to influence how he gets out there, just has to make it out through the smoke. And now he's got a serious bit of real estate over here in mid. There he is, getting the opener.
Yeah, and Roy should have had a bullet between the eyes, but he takes one with him. Safe cut down to size on the T-Orb. Puts us in a 3-on-3, and they know KSCERATO still just trapped behind the box. A tip of his head spotted, a one-way dropped, and the bomb down on B. It was Mezzi. He's in that forward position cave, and so they've just gone up the ramp, and now they can smoke on that. That's a good util set from FURIA.
Flashing a cave as well. Yuri
very diligent.
Yeah, look, I really want to sink my teeth into this round, but I'm... Turn to Hook, so this is this retake on. FASHR comes in for a fight. Yuri will take him down 2 to find it in the back. Mezzi's found 1, 2-on-2.
Yeah, nicoodoz is going to have to disrespect this smoke. There's a gap for Drop to exploit. nicoodoz with that AWP, he needs a close reaction shot. Oh, no, missing out. Hello. Nice to see him on the fade. KSCERATO to come close. It's very low on time. nicoodoz needs to bodyguard, and now Mezzi's lost the round. Unfortunate for fnatic, but time on FURIA's side. And another triple from KSCERATO. Back-to-back rounds, different bomb sites. And he goes down with the ship. And
keeping up that form that he had within the group stage. Just actually the form in general. KSCERATO is without a doubt the best Brazilian Counter-Strike player at the moment. He is just an absolute beast, and it's great to see him bringing that in the early stages of Ancient here. But in the early stages of Ancient, I would just want to circle back and pick up where Harry left off. The way that FURIA are starting this game is playing with info. Even the way that Art died there on A, that's not one of the normal deaths that would get people unhappy, because he was making that play when they knew that there was 3 people towards middle. He knew that there was someone fighting him, spamming through the smoke. He knew that there was someone over towards Donut, and he knew that someone was in cave because they smoked off the B lane side of cave. So that piece of information allowed Art to look for a pick. Sure, it didn't work out, but they still won the rounds here. And again, they're not just running into a wall hoping to use shock and awe and pace. They're actually using information, which, as we know, is power, gentlemen.
Yeah, and, you know, it still has that kind of flair about it in that, you know, these are more aggressive ways of getting that info, but you know, yeah, it's just not... The problem I think the FURIA have always had is, you know, you can just, with a good utility layout and someone who can hold an angle, right, you can wreck this team. And you know, especially on Ancient in times gone by, I can think of times where I've just seen FURIA feel like they're hitting a wall that they can't get past, right? So it feels like they've got away. They've refined this a little bit over their time off.
But that's another point that you raise here, with them staying in Europe between Group B and the playoffs, that you can then tailor the way that you... Nice shot. Crims! That's 2 dirty ones.
You got any more where that came from, Crims? He's actually got a little bit of time to work his magic, but he doesn't really have the health. A single bullet from either of those AKs.
Look how reserved they are again, though, right? Yeah. They're not offering up anything more. He's already eaten his fill right now.
Yeah, now he just gets that horrible, sobering realization that the fight's just not going to come to him. He'd like to take one more head, make it as costly as he can, and try and bait them out with the defusal sound. And it's Art that checks, and Art that closes. 5 already for FURIA's T-side, and this was a T-side they picked, and with a fnatic pistol, no less.
Yeah, nice shots, good damage. And that's one of the keys here, is the damage that fnatic have been able to continue to put FURIA under the pump with. Yeah, but at some point, that needs to break. It needs to become a round so you can actually take advantage of how much damage you're doing, because if they don't win another one and these rounds start to get cleaner for FURIA, well then all these kills from Crims and Co, nicoodoz in the previous, it all means nothing.
Yeah. There's been, in the last 3 rounds of play, there's been 3 surviving FURIA members. So they are whittling away.
Sure.
They are certainly getting that economy humble, and you can see it, you know, emblazoned in the money they have left, but we do still see fnatic whipping out that CT orb. I'd love to see nicoodoz work his magic.
And we get a bit of B-stream action on the screen for everybody as well. G2 taking on Movistar Riders. Remember the URL, ESL_CSGO B, if you want to check that one out now for the first 2 days of the playoffs here for Pro League Season 17. We will be having an A and a B stream, and then after that we'll just be putting everything in the one place where you are right now. But let's get back underway here with the guns back out for fnatic.
5 they do with their bullet. They're abusing A. Every time fnatic fall into their default setup, it seems FURIA are going to be throwing a lot of A util off the rip, and they're going. There's no one donut, no early warning sign. FASHR, he's going to have a chance to throw one incendiary and beg for assistance. Smoke to try and divide and conquer. Art not aware. Molotov over, and a jump from FASHR does deliver onto that forward attack. Art gone, FURIA swinging.
Yeah, they're moving in, but here's the flashes from fnatic trying to reply. Yuri and save, handful of kills, but Yuri is boxed in. KSCERATO left up in the clutch. nicoodoz comes hunting for him through the temple, but KSCERATO looked ready for it. It's a nail-biting peak, but nicoodoz is the one to close it out, and fnatic finally get another round up on the board.
I really like that approach right there from fnatic, just to flash and fight and not put themselves in a post-plant scenario there, just to charge on in. I know that site can be easier to retake at times here, but if they get entrenched in a 5-on-5 with full control, then you're going to be in a couple of dramas here. But I'm curious as to why Art was so far forward compared to the rest of the pack. Was there a molly thrown?
So that's because I was thinking the same thing. It looked like that, right? That's almost how the spacing would have got thrown off, but I didn't see one come out.
No, it wasn't on the radar.
And so, yeah, I don't know.
Sink our teeth back into that one at a later stage.
Yeah, I am, you know, because it felt like the whole idea there is similar to the last few A plays. Art goes and disrupts, he kind of draws the attention, and everyone else is meant to be there peeking. And
there must have been a molly.
In fairness, like Art got the peaks, he got them out of position, he got them coming through Donut on what would have been a great timing if anyone else was facing from main, but FURIA just didn't have the support there for him.
Oh, this is okay. The B-rush
this
here.
is a little more vintage more FURIA. Yeah. These are the rounds that we were kind of expecting. Fast up into the B site, drop a dead man, and this one's not worked out so swimmingly.
So this is where the shock and the awe was hopefully going to pay out for them here, wasn't it? But that's not the case at all. They go for a B-rush, they throw everything, including the kitchen sink, in towards the site, and they just get stalled out. And this is it. fnatic, they have tidy players. They can all aim, they can all shoot. right? If they know that you're going to go for a faster play with a lower buy, and we were prophesizing the lower buy from FURIA, fnatic definitely knew it was coming, Alex.
And we've been seeing these fundamentals like in the rounds they were losing. We could see they had the ramp molly, the follow-up HE, the nades towards lane. Like if you are just going to try and test them on their fundamentals, there's going to be bullets and there's going to be flames. It slows them down. They do run into that brick wall, and now it's just KSCERATO essentially trying to make anything better than just a 4 alive CT finish for the third. Bombs loose, they're staring at it. nicoodoz has the cave hold, and they've got everything set up. Like, this is the dream setup. It's going to be very hard for KSCERATO to get anything done.
It's nice when you find yourself in this type of scenario where you can fortify the bomb. Everyone has everything covered. There's no question marks about timings. Like, right now, Roy's just sitting there clicking through everyone's speed. He's going, yeah, you guys are good, right? Like, he's just looked through and seen if there's any gaps, and there's not a single one here. And it's a bit of a shame that KSCERATO has to save onto a Galil here, but into the next, we're only talking about that 1,900 loss bonus. They're not going to have a whole lot more cash to splash. They're looking just to try and keep things at least competitive, because after a round like this, fnatic will be getting, well, all that win bonus. We don't say win bonus too often, do we?
We don't.
No, maybe we should say win bonus more. We always say loss bonus. We never say win bonus.
Yeah, it's as if there's only one bonus, but we know there's 2 bonus.
We're so negative.
Yeah.
We're always focusing on the L's.
A negativity bias, the human race.
Bang. These flashes were pretty bad if players on both of those angles were not blind.
And that was a nice shot from nicoodoz to really put the nail in the coffin. 2 on the trot.
Did we find out about that molly? We could go on YouTube, I guess. We could use the rewind feature.
Replay, yeah.
I'll research right now.
I can confirm that definitely 100% was a molly.
Thank you, Rush. There we go. I knew we kept him around for something. Here we go. Here's that pace out mid. Flashed, shot, dead. And Yuri on the trade. So he has been able to find himself temporarily. There's a molly. I can guarantee you that one.
Hasn't stopped safe. Fits the bullets from the AWP. nicoodoz racks up 2. Oh, and he's just farming. There's one more to find. Art is his next victim. Crims will steal it from him. But yeah, another lockout. As that gap closes rather quickly. It felt like FURIA were working really tooth and nail, very diligent on their 5-round haul. And fnatic have just had a couple of gimmies thrown their way.
Yeah, I
that's lovely.
I hope that FURIA, go back. Now that they have the guns coming back in. I just want something. It doesn't even have to be slow. I don't know, I'm not talking, I don't need like Art doing his best Jame impression. Doesn't need to be a round that takes minute 50 from this point onwards, to come to fruition. They can still be pacey, but I hope we don't get what just kind of boils down to Art pushing mid smokes, trying to take this real estate, because it's like feels like it's got maybe 40% success rate. And this round, honestly, it's what it looked like was going to happen to open up, right? Art tried to come through these smokes in mid, flash for drop into cave, and he will get that opener. So now the FURIA have the 5v4. They've got the round in the palm of their hand. Here's the re-aggro out of Roy, and this kill decides a hell of a lot. He tries to reclaim cave, but they've traded places in the smokes.
Open, bro.
He is wide open. FURIA are about to move in uncontested.
And it's up to Drop to try and get there as well. He has been cut down. Chips away at Roy's health, but still that bomb is heading into A. It's Crims that cuts out of the round. A miss from nicoodoz. And punishment from Safe. Lovely spray, build and trade from KSCERATO as they have a man advantage. Roy last seen cave. He's still there. And Yuri's got his rotate locked. Oh, I say that, not anymore. Roy in the one-on-one. Bomb should go down safe, and now it's up to Roy. He's going to go round the world through T-spawn. Yeah, you've got very little time to pull that maneuver off.
Yeah, I think he thought KSCERATO might get a little bit trickier with this situation here. So KSCERATO, he could be absolutely anywhere. And with this open plant that has been made available by him very self, he can play this round in a magnitude of different ways here. As soon as Roy sees where the bomb's planted, the bomb's already halfway ticked, he's going to be scratching his head. He doesn't have enough smoke to try and draw him out.
Yeah, that's where the extra few seconds even can really cost him. This was a hard enough clutch anyway with none of the info. And look, as he taps the bomb, he doesn't know where to look, doesn't know where the right angle is, just has to kind of play off of the intuition and around that plant, sees that it's for main, decides to check there, but it's the CT swing from KSCERATO that seals the deal. And so FURIA keep this lead up, right? They don't let fnatic tie this game up at 5-all.
Drop's kill in cave, I think, was really important, though, because it drew those bodies over towards thinking it was B. You could see Roy chasing that tail through the smoke and got caught on that bad timing. So that's a massive kill for Drop to find. And here in a round like this, you can see that FURIA have clearly done their homework on the way that fnatic are approaching this map, because they're taking advantage of the gap over towards A more often than not. And part of this is wanting them to condition either to be lighter on middle, or be starting a player over towards A, which is going to mean you're lighter on B, which will then open up the calling for Art and Co throughout the game to find weaknesses in other sides or other areas of the map here. So right now, if you're Fnatic, there's a couple ways you can deal with this. You can keep going your game plan and go, well, they're not going to keep exploiting this. They're just trying to condition us. Or you have to respect it and change the way that you're approaching the CT setup on the map right now.
Yeah, 2 through mid this time. Crimson Roy going to be meeting head on with Art if he does continue to disrespect the smokes. He positions tidily. Crimson support, trying to find him in the smoke.
It's a really interesting way that Fnatic are taking mid here. And again, it's going to harass over towards A. Orps on the... but it's FASHR taking the fight.
Trapped in at default, has to extinguish the molly, and so now they move up with the smoke down. Safe gets that kill, and Yuri's trying to pressure Donut, looking for this real estate. They would love to plant for the Donut side, and with this held down, Crims can't go swinging, can't stop that plant. It's nicoodoz to ring out next with the AWP. Fnatic starting to rotate bodies around, and nicoodoz finds himself a third in the round. This AWP is doing it all. Yuri pinned in, and nicoodoz gives us everything for Fnatic. Might not have been there as they move into the site, might have had to rotate round with it, but my God, does he make it sing once he arrives?
Well, that's what I was going to bring up, right? Because of the way that you've seen the site approach here from FURIA with the triple smokes, it makes it hard for an AWP to function there. But when there's no smokes up and the AWP's able to have free reign, you can see just how easy it is for him to pluck them all apart. So great stuff from nicoodoz. He has 17 kills, gentlemen.
Not too shabby.
No, not too bad at all. That is absurd, isn't it? Off to an absolute flyer here as nicoodoz. Only 4 deaths to the name as well. Keeping it a 1-round game here. And FURIA are just down to these poor pistols, and they will try something quite quick out the mid. What's that smoke? I think that's a missed cave smoke that's just landed there to the left of Roy. Or have they thrown that? We've done this with FURIA before, where we haven't known if it's intentional or not, and Drop told us that it definitely wasn't intentional. So let's assume it wasn't intentional.
Oh, that's a great clear from Crims, anticipating the run-up, but he's just going to go for a multi-kill, a massacre of his own. Art perhaps going to be the unknown entity. He might get caught off by this surprise after Yuri rounds that corner. Crims engages, and then Art takes a pot shot.
Sometime today, Art would be nice. Alex is trying to build up some hype here.
There it is. And a smoke to get away. Looking for the spray. nicoodoz opts for the M4. There's only 2 of them, and you can see Yuri's having a tough time making anything happen throughout that long-range temple engagement.
Not the weapon for the job, is it?
Nah, what do you reckon? nicoodoz is going to finish this off.
I think he wants that AWP back. I think he just waits till the smoke fades, then he'll clear top mid and try and get that AWP back. Just a better weapon for the fight that could have been coming his way.
It's just a jiggle hold from Mezzi. He's not actually going to be able to take a frag or say that as he does round the corner in time, holding that cave exit. He doesn't want to be going down into that 2-on-2, allowing the plant. He wants to just simply contain them. nicoodoz arriving, sticking to that M4 as the cave smoke will go down. Both available, and it's up to Yuri really with that AK-47 over the Art Deagle. Oh. Nope, never mind. Art's Deagle has connected. FASHR down, now both on the long side. Yuri can finish this. They're distracted. Timing, engagement's good. Art with a clutch now, 1-on-1. He's going for the ace as Mezzi saves them from a red face.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been such a wild round, man. You know, comes a long way in that round from hiding up over towards red and getting like trapped in a corner by the molly to nearly acing to win it with just the Deag. That would have been phenomenal, my goodness. And, you know, I don't, like, he maybe could have hid in the corner a few more seconds, but when you're 4 kills deep with the Deagle in this round, I think there is that part of you that's like, I'm killing this guy when I swing.
I think the way the fights were presented to him as well, he was given more than enough opportunities to be able to take them at his leisure there. So just some good shooting from Art there.
Also,
I think Movistar just won a round.
Yeah, me too.
About that smoke in mid, you know, I almost wonder, because obviously it lands in front of the...
Do it to me, Harry.
Well, it lands in front of, like, cutout in mid, right? Like, over towards this little, like, cubby on the right-hand side. And you know, the crossfire between, like, there and this donut angle or, like, someone top red, you can, like, just trade contacts. And seeing as they were running mid with pistols, part of me wonders, like, what if it's to cut out that fight entirely? Stop, like, the AWP playing that line. Because I think it was Drop, maybe, or KSCERATO, like, played through that smoke, actually.
Yeah, well, I think we should ask them if they win.
Yeah.
Massive info here.
Well, he
Yeah,
pinned.
KSCERATO thinks he's like playing some huge mind game, but really FASHR's got all that info.
Oh.
At least he knows now.
Oh, it doesn't matter that he knows.
God.
KSCERATO 2 shot. Takes down 2. FASHR and Crims's names. It's just Mezzy. He's up close and personal here. Oh, he was up close and personal.
He was.
Temporarily. And KSCERATO's like, yeah, no, Harry, he was playing a sick mind game. It's
He
called,
was.
You can see me, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's the name of that sick mind game.
That is very,
What's the
very
little chibi
convincing.
weeby that Drop's got on his desk there? See, he's got a new little chibi weeby?
Yeah, maybe he picked it up from the Malta gift shop.
Maybe there's an anime store around the corner I was telling Rush about.
Yeah, I've been showing you some of the figurines available. There's some crazy looking.
Oh, that is right, yeah.
Crazy figurines.
Some
You
good
ever had
Chainsaw
a-
Man stuff?
Yeah. You ever had an anime chibi weeby on your desk?
I haven't.
You want one?
I would love one.
I've got one I want to suggest actually. See if I can find it for you.
Well, no Molly with their mid-smoke this time here. fnatic with a different approach. They're actually starting 4 over towards B, and that's because they're just on these light pistols here. So having to take a bit of a risk due to the fact of the buy. And, well, speaking of that risk, it's going to keep coming. Drop, 2 kills to his name. He's going to want to turn this into a whole lot more. Doors smoke. And right now, they're going to be able to push past. They're taking the fight over towards lane. Yuri tucked on in towards the pocket. FASHR will take his scout, but they'll need to get their hands on that AK if they want to make the full profit on his death. Now, the 3 FURIA members in the interim have made their way out middle. Not smoke to clear, and well, just trying to grab any information they can right now, FURIA. The reposition around the map, and well, Art's going to have himself a bit of a fight here. You see this X-ray, it looks like a little bit of a Stackaroonie situation, Alex.
Yeah, it's all stacked up. Bunched up. Heading in towards the beat.
Got to be careful Nicoodoz's toes don't show on that ledge.
Definitely, on his tippy toes.
Yep.
Just the edge.
FURIA, they're riding up in towards this B site right now.
Does look uncomfortable for fnatic. When the bomb will go down, it's going to be a very difficult round now. You've only got yourselves these forced weapons, limited sidearms, but Deagle headshots, they are lethal, and FASHR demonstrates, as does nicoodoz. Suddenly, FURIA getting a little flustered, a little hot under the collar as it's only safe in the 1v2. Here taking pot shots, there's so much time for Roy, but he's been run down by the Glock. Safe takes some initiative, takes the AK, and will take the spray. nicoodoz closes. That was a high-octane round.
He's up to 19 kills now. They just keep taking names. And that all
nicoodoz.
started with that aggressive maneuver at B lane at the start of the round there. The doors smoke, the push forward. I think they took down Yuri as the initial scout from FASHR. The fact he finds 2 in that round, great shooting. Turns out fnatic can Deagle as well.
Yeah, they call him Nico the Closer, Tamjidi. As he constantly hits these closers one-on-one. nicoodoz, he's been finishing it in the AWP. He'll finish it with the AK. He'll do it with whatever is in his hands, and it's a big round for fnatic considering FURIA taking this T-side start. fnatic taking the pistol, and now, well, it's a battle in the final round of the half for who's taking the W into the second.
Yeah, well, you can see here both teams a bit strapped for cash in the buy for the final. Art's going to flash himself forward here.
Go on, go on. Running him down, Roy, free fire, and Art does lose out. There's been a bit of a standoff between the two, and chip damage
the flames.
finished by the Flames. Appropriate for Roy.
Yeah.
Finished with the Flames.
Finished with the Flames.
And right now he's coping. I'm sure there's something I can do with that.
Yeah,
the
there will.
Hagen part.
Copen, oh, there it is.
Yeah. You could say like Copen and Haagen-Dazs or something like that. Like,
shout out.
right.
Or any other cold cream
Yeah, any
manufacturer.
other cold cream. Drop in the
He's hearing
cave.
this.
He's dead, he's dead, he's dead.
nicoodoz.
Oh,
He might have 19 kills, might be having a great game right now, but there's no account for that timing. He's caught falling back. Yuri is also...
Hello.
Hey, he will see Roy and lands that little tap to find him. Now, do they know about the man in main? The man in main, of course, being FASHR. The molly with Scream, yes. Still, he's going to take one with him, but it burns him out. And so FURIA managed to pick up one more, closing out this first half. 8-7 up in the lead as they move over to the CT side.
You love it, you'll wear it.
in the club and I can't leave. My sports car outside doing top speeds. You choosing up and I hope that you choose me. I'll be everything you want plus what you need. No car service I'm driving. Bucket seats for you when we riding. And we high off life, we doing 90. And the highway car right behind me. Paranoia really untimely. Am I going crazy? I might be. For somebody else like me, that's unlikely. They flashing while I'm driving back home. 11 at night. In parties, but I'm feeling alone. All the stars in the midnight sky look pretty. Baby, you're rolling, can you please come with me? Cause I'm tired of the pop life and I need you. They flashing while I'm driving back home. 11 at night. In parties, but I'm feeling alone. All the stars in the midnight sky look pretty. Baby, you're rolling, can you please come with me? Cause I'm tired of the pop life and I need you. I need you. I need you.
Making magic when they need it most.
It's playoffs, baby. We are back for ESL Pro League Season 17, and this week we are bringing you our finest Counter-Strike action. I'm joined by Machine and Just Harry GG. Is it still GG at the end of the tag, Harry?
Yeah, man, yeah. That's what was available online,
Yeah.
so that's what I went with, you know, and that's something that all gamers say. We all drop a GG at the end of a game.
I
So
say
I
good
thought
half just to
relatable.
confuse people.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
GH.
awesome. They're getting ready for a whole new game, when in reality,
I don't even
they
know, it's
just
already
copped an
over.
L.
Well, who's going to be copping the L on this one here, Harry? We're underway with the pistol round. fnatic 7 at the half, FURIA 8. This was fnatic's map choice.
Watch this.
Ooh, I like this. Double main aggression with a third man back in the site. KSCERATO could manage one more. That would have been lovely, would have been even trades. Now Safe has to put a little bit more on the line here. But this whole round is almost designed to bait fnatic into the A play, right? That was the idea. Otherwise, if you're assuming that, you know, Drop and KSCERATO were going to fight there and kill everyone, then you wouldn't need Safe playing this bait and switch spot. However, this plan kind of hinges on fnatic taking the bait.
Yuri's like, they're asking for Yuri updates. They're like, mate, anything? Is there anything happening over there? And he's got nothing. He's got nothing to report. It's dead silent across the map. And fnatic are hoping that by cutting noise long enough to have theoretically gone back through T-spawn and be setting up on B, now is the time.
I don't think they cleared Tollbox.
They
Yeah.
shouldn't, right?
Like, why would you?
Because he's been there the whole time.
Yeah, but they haven't been watching it, so they have to be aware that it's possible.
Here we go. Oh, it's denied. It's up to Safe. Can he find the right
Spotted,
timing?
spotted,
yeah,
spotted.
the jump. Roy. Oh, perfect. Mezzi's actually the one to take him down. And they're going to go for a plant in that smoke. Seems like we could be having both pistols go fnatic's way now. And it's only Yuri posting one in the feed. Art to try and do the same. It's a triple donut setup and a good donut plant.
Smoke and a kit.
Oh, good point. Very good point. That's going to make them very uncomfortable as they're going to start spamming and rushing, going around the world. Is CT maneuver. No one on the bomb. They confirm it now. No one touching it. And Yuri needs to pick up that kit. Art taking it too far, and it's long range on the Glock. Quad kill from Roy.
Their best bet was honestly Art just sticking the defuse there, but that feels so helpless. Like it's like, but I could just die. It's like, well, yeah, but you could also get flanked and
You could
also just die. So there was really no good option for FURIA there. So 8-8 all tied up. They did have what felt like the perfect package to try and pull that one back to Brazilians. But I think the fact that fnatic showed restraint after the initial exchange
they
in
slowed
main,
down. I think that's the difference, mate.
that was class right there. So I'm not sure why they had that premonition. I suppose because they know they're playing against FURIA. They've never played against FURIA before, this fnatic roster.
cool.
So on their toes, on their tippy toes.
Yeah, I asked Drop a little bit about that, about playing a team you haven't played before. He says it's exciting and scary, a combination. You know, it's nice to have something new to work with and play against, but also you don't get that luxury of kind
nicoodoz
of
might die here.
knowing. Yeah, nicoodoz is only going to get the one as the USPs will pepper him down. And AK,
the only AK.
oh, Jesus.
The only AK.
Yeah, it's going to have to be these Mac 10s to finish it off. And you can see aggression, the name of the game. Does mean you cop a little dink. FASHR brought down low, but they have bodyguarded that AK-47 for now. Yuri might try a little cheeky maneuver with the smoke up. Might lull him in to go and try and retrieve that AK-47. Oh, FASHR, very vulnerable to that USP. If KSCERATO gets another one...
I think as well here, KSCERATO and Yuri know that if they just keep them around for long enough, the bomb will go off and maybe they'll go down with that as well. So it's been scooped up, but he's boxed. Yuri's not going to survive this.
He's got him. He should have him. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, well handled from fnatic there. Sure, it got a little bit sketchy, and it was even scarier that nicoodoz was the only one towards that side of the doors with the only AK. I think when the penny drops on that, and if it was cleaner with that kill, a very scary round could have manifested for fnatic in round 17. But that was the full eco from FURIA, right? I think the fact they even managed to get a couple of kills is great. That's really good value for what they invested. And now we get to see how their CT side looks here. The Anubis up next, and Vertigo as the third and decider if we do need to get there. You can see that top right of your screen right here, right now.
Don't know if I've ever seen that map pool before. The full trifecta. Here we go. Here they come. Mezzi jumping out of the mid smoke and doesn't have anything to deliver on the Mac 10. Crims is having a go. Got 3 out mid.
Wants to try and follow this up, right, and get a bit of real estate for the death of Mezzi. So they managed to skirt past Donut, get a man into Red Room. And they even cross with a second now as well. The bomb is still floating around in the bottom of mid, so you might have to have FASHR, you know, hang back a little bit here. Doesn't want to risk losing that in no man's land.
They need a kill to force FURIA into an uncomfortable position, because even though they've lost red, but they have 5 players alive, that's okay, right? You can tend to turtle up a bit more. You do like a 3-2 split of your defenses, so you can play more ascentric. Safe can watch this position from a multitude of different angles here as well. So right now, FURIA, they're not sweating this. They need a disruptor on the fnatic side to open things up here, and they want to try their luck towards B. Drop on the jiggle with the smoke in hand. There's really no rush about this one, is there?
Yeah, he's just playing for that shadow as well, so he's not even going to wait for flesh. Just any sort of change in the pixels will be that smoke on ramp, and at 30 seconds, it's quite difficult for fnatic to overcome. They have hidden the shadows for now.
They're talking through what util they're going to line up here.
Yeah. Got a good timing on that.
Have to save, boys. I don't know how you go through this.
No. And, like, Crims doesn't want to move first. He needs some friction on B. 17 seconds.
They're
going. Flashes. Good frag back. Yuri's still in that cubby, and it's really going to be tight on time here. 10 seconds as everyone collapses. Only nicoodoz will save his AK.
I think I could hear him from here, because they are getting quite loud with things, calling when he was flashing just then.
Yeah.
So there was still an attempt from fnatic. It wasn't just the save here, but there you go, 9-9, all tied up. Money, well, not great, considering how many casualties they took on that previous eco round. There's going to be some omissions if they are to buy here. Mezzi could get an AK, but the other 3 might need to get into some Tech 9s or Mac 10s yet again. So not the best of starts for fnatic in towards this half, but they strike me as the type of team that might eco now, run with this one saved AK, try and maximize the amount of value they can get from it, and then buy up into the next.
Oh, you nailed it. See what they can get done. They're going to test this B setup. We're going to get our first look of fnatic encountering this FURIA B lane aggression art already, overlooking the perimeter.
There's a bit of an edge around that smoke. I wonder, you see they're trying to boost up the AK, yeah. Looked like it fell just a little too far to the left there. And so nicoodoz boosted up, able to put this AK to work, finds the 4-on-4. Now they're still pinned in at the double doors, but fnatic is still fine with this. Really, I think, you know, the fact that you've got these close angles, the pistols come out through that door, get through Yuri's ammo. He might get traded here, and yeah, he's dead. Accidentally switches off the gun and gets overran. More weapons to be retrieved. Mezzi's not picked it up. Instead, just up the ramp with the pistol and into safe with that M4. He's going to close the round out as well, so they keep a hold of it. 3 alive at the end. FURIA on to double digits and a handful of kills for fnatic.
I want to say this is playing out as we expected, right? A close game, you know, 2 different styles, but it's like FURIA aren't really playing the classic FURIA style here today. So this is just turning out to be quite a bit of a tug of war, an arm wrestle of a match. And both teams have shown great firepower, especially on Deegs, right? Both teams have had some pretty good Deeg rounds, good multi-kill rounds. I think, obviously, the biggest factor for fnatic has been nicoodoz. Him and Roy have done an awful lot of work here, 21 and 17 kills respectively. On the other side, it's FURIA and KSCERATO, as we'd expect, the two high flyers for FURIA here. And nicoodoz will have to deploy into round number 20 with just a Deagle in hand. They're up B ramp. They're starting to look for some space. They've been negated by that smoke and spammed on through. Look at all this damage. Drop takes down Roy.
That's crazy. They were getting spammed through both directions. Nowhere was safe over at ramp. Bare minimum. nicoodoz has himself a gun now, so that problem kind of solves itself for fnatic. Over in mid, FASHR tries to play through the mid molly. And FURIA are ready and waiting to receive. Art's even held up over here in cave. And he might have a visitor coming his way in Mezzi.
Mezzi has the bomb, though. He doesn't really want to take that risk without some sort of support. Crims will come to escort him towards the ramp, and his aggression is being held. Nice from nicoodoz again. He is the impact player. Mezzi will trade, but a good one back from Art stops the aggress. Bomb scooped up, Crims to clutch. Molly could be well placed. Art, knowing Art, he just runs straight on through. Not going to allow you to have anything to celebrate in that round. A double kill from the leader of FURIA. Kill distribution is relatively even. Bar drop, everyone's within, well, 4 kills of each other. 15 or 14 on the low end, 18 on the high end. And we spoke about drop. He is obviously detached from that, just finding himself his 6th frag in that one.
Yeah, ironically, I feel like mollying Art there makes him more likely to push.
Exactly.
Like, he's one of the only players that necessarily subscribes to, but I think it made it very obvious that Crims was committing to that bomb plant, so Art felt very justified in that push.
Look at all that disruptive utility towards B lane early, but they're going to push through it. They're flying into this.
Testing them. Safe, not going to be having any trouble. FASHR, however, does lay down the law on one. Yuri double. And now that pissed P250 is not going to get him very far. They'd love a plant.
That's great. You happy with that?
And you get it. Mission accomplished. Anything else is just bonus. And yeah, jumping through the smoke, a little bit of a chaos manufactured, but nicoodoz Deagle. We saw Art do something similar. That little pixel angle, just a little too much to ask of nicoodoz.
Decent lead now.
Yeah, dude, this is crazy as well because, like, I don't know. When I look at like nicoodoz and Safe, for me they kind of fit into similar boxes.
Okay.
And they're AWPers that have maybe like a proclivity to be like a little aggressive in how they approach it, right? They don't mind being involved in like an opening fight. And on top of that, I think they're both somewhat streaky. Like they'll have these games where they can just dominate. You know, we've seen where like Safe, you know, opens up. You know, I think even in his group he had a couple of games like it where he was like
there was a
28,
Mirage,
30 kills, yeah, on that Mirage
yeah.
game. And then I think the same can be said for nicoodoz, right? Even back in like Copenhagen Flames, he would just have these games where he is off the rails, no one's even on the level. And the thing that's so mental to me is kind of felt like that's the game we're getting from nicoodoz. And in spite of all of that, FURIA are still the ones etching out this path into the lead. Now we're starting to get Safe with his AWP, CT side AWPing over towards that B side of the map. Even in that round, he's like getting involved. You know, I'm starting to get nervous because I think you've had nicoodoz firing on all cylinders. You know, I don't know if that's guaranteed to hold up across the entire series, and I think usually it's a recipe for success if he's switched on. And normally the other man that I would look to in that same kind of box would be Roy. Someone who, when he's creating space, when he's like topping the charts, he applies so much pressure. And you're getting both of those things right now, and yet still it's FURIA up 12-9 in spite of it.
Oh, Safe connected to that
is.
one. That's a nice little adjustment there onto Roy, one of the big names that Harry was just touting.
nicoodoz. Oh. Perhaps not what he was looking for.
No, can't peek now, can he?
No. But drop on that jiggle. It's almost, yeah, he's not trying to bait it out. Get it done now as opposed to 30 seconds. There you go. Drop will drop. The util.
It's really hard being down a man. He could have dropped one back there. Decent damage on the wall bank.
He even hit Safe as well. He's like over towards CT, not even looking this way. Like that would freak you out a little. You just take a stray bullet while you hold him red.
That's the last smoke. Yuri's thrown it out, so they will have a real opportunity if they want to walk up and just gunfight their way into this site.
They only have one smoke for an execute, but they do have a couple of mollies. So you could molly like the cubby as well as the site pillar and smoke short or long and then focus on the other. Where's this going, Mezzi?
I guess the long
It could be
corner.
long, yeah.
First front triangle.
Oh, off the bucket.
okay,
Of course, off
okay.
the bucket.
And they're up. It's up to safe, and he's already been warded off the angle. fnatic are into the site, but still with that man disadvantage. This could get hectic fast, Harry. And already FASHR and nicoodoz have leveled the odds. A 3-on-3 for the retake. Yuri still in cave.
Yeah, the M1S did just fire off, but they found one of these cave players. They think that was everyone. Yuri's allowed a second for free, and he even gets the reload off. nicoodoz dead. Mezzi, the captain of fnatic's got to fly solo on this one. Kill into the cave, but not ready for KSCERATO. Already up the ramp on the flank, and that's FURIA landing the retake. Might have been nicoodoz and FASHR doing all they could to even the odds on that one, but it cancels out very quickly once Yuri goes unchecked.
Well, this was the opener, right, at 1:30 on the clock there. The fact that they get into the side, they get the bomb down is great, and they're essentially doing this in a 3-on-5 situation because Krim gets plucked for free as well. But just the lack of awareness of what positions were open there, this one all ended up quite curious. You see Mezzi there running knife out, getting caught in the back there was FASHR over towards the cave position. So they just were not ready for what was getting thrown their way, and this is now the fourth and most emergency-driven timeout from fnatic now. They are in a massive hole. They have enough money to buy again, but this has been great for Gary, who has made his mustache so much more prominent than the rest of his facial hair. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but he has.
It frames his face very nicely. Look at that.
He's gone.
I
He's
do
definitely.
like it.
He's lent into the mo here.
It's like a power stash.
Maybe he's thought, hey boys, if we can't win with a beard, let's try with a stash.
Right.
We'll see how we go.
Well, there's been a lot of
That
like.
was actually, we caught it perfectly. It's as though someone just said in his ear, like, Gary, mate, right now they're talking about the mustache. Face the camera, face the camera, face the... Maybe stroke it, maybe stroke the mustache. Think.
Oh, I like this. So this is the elbow smoke from A, and then there's going to be a couple flashes towards mid here, but they're not actually pushing out the CTs at least.
Wow, Crims has actually gotten away with this now. Art's none the wiser.
Crims has got him.
He should have him. Art dead. Condemned by the AK-47 straight to the skull. Now Red Room a threat drop to rotate to acknowledge. It's KSCERATO trying to hold that cross. And already established on that, just going to be jiggling for the potential of nicoodoz or Mezzi. They're on high alert. A man up. fnatic need this one. Stop this run of rounds from FURIA. They got 5 in a row. And FURIA watching in the wings, hoping it's a quick day in the office.
Look at the timing, though. So they've thrown this fake out on the other side of the map here, and it's drawn a big rotation, like biting down real hard of FURIA. KSCERATO is still lingering over towards CT spawn, but they do not have to offer themselves up here, right? They can plant safely. They can play from donut. They do not need to contest this position. That smoke is likely going to have a bit of a gap on that right-hand side, but if you're FURIA, this isn't a round that you need to challenge. You can hold on to your guns, you have residual cash on a few of your players, you can drop a gun, it's not the end of the world. You lost the opening pick, sure, and you were outmaneuvered. Okay, that's the end of that, right? You can easily file that one away. There's no questions here. You don't need to get Scully on the phone.
But you know, one of the things I even think is that considering they've got money here, I feel like even this is like FURIA, you know, being very responsible with this game, right? Like, they're locked out.
What a difference 2 weeks can make, Harry.
Yeah, right. And I think most teams would elect to save here, but FURIA usually aren't most teams, right? And I think usually you would have had a bit of attention paid to this. They just wrote it off immediately. As soon as they're locked out of A, it's like, right, we're saving. They're not getting ahead of themselves here. They're not like jumping the gun. They got out, you know, outplayed over here in mid with Crims pushing up, and they write it off. And so now, you know, they look that much better off for it. They've got a bit of staying power in this map. It's not like fnatic can win just one more round and then break this CT money. They actually have to grind their way to the equalizer, and that's going to leave FURIA with more chances to close this game out.
I think here as well, when you look at that move that they just attempted in mid to get our information, right? It was a thought-out move. There was a one-way smoke. There was supportive utility from KSCERATO. He wasn't just doing it on his own, right? Yeah. So, and I know there's a lot of critique there. He was on his own technically, but there was utility to support him.
No, I mean, mate, the amount of times I've seen Art just take mid in the way that he's lobbed the smoke in with a molly, and now he's nading the smoke, and now he's right near it in mid, just holding, you know, having to like pivot between ledge and the bottom mid fight. But that was like a super put-together round, very, very safe. It's more so Crims kind of looking good in that moment as opposed to like a misstep from Art.
No doubt. Oh. No diggity.
See, this time he gets the opener. He takes down Crims. Art got 1-for-1 in middle here. The spam through. Yuri almost removes nicoodoz from play there. That would have been something sweet.
He's definitely got the wall bangles lined up for everything. Lane, elbow. I think every Cave player does these days, but it's incredible to see just how efficient those sprays can be.
They don't have a molly on drop or KSCERATO here to try and flush out Mezzi from behind this Tetris box in middle, so they need to be quite cautious.
Safe has one, and he's over towards Donut, but Mezzi!
Oh!
He has deleted them on for the ace in the round. Not going to happen. Roy
God
gets
save the
lock.
queen!
But yeah, well, yeah.
The king!
Yeah, the king.
The king!
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I haven't said it before. Excuse me.
Shout out Lizzie, but
Yeah.
the king, he's all
Rest in
right. He's
peace,
going
The
all
king's
right.
pretty cool,
Rest in
I
peace.
guess.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah.
Yeah, well,
God save the queen.
God save
save the
Mezzi!
queen.
God save Messi.
God save Mezzi!
Look at that. I love just seeing that crosshair ready for the swing as well. Like this one, boom.
That was beautiful.
Oh,
wasn't
that's
it?
hot,
And you could
that's
see it
hot.
coming.
Yeah,
Like
you could.
it was like he was playing Crossfires and he knew exactly where all those
Yeah.
bots were going to step out from. Could
That's
that
a-
be the backbreaker though? Because right now, FURIA, they're on the ropes. nicoodoz was blind. Roy is forward, looks for the fight and completely flashed, finds it, drops down, continues to have a hard game here on B.
Yeah, it's going to be already that flirting with the idea of holding on to what you've got. You've only got $50 on the high end in your pockets. And it will allow and facilitate fnatic to have a one-round game ahead of them. Got to be conservative with this one.
He's trapped in cave, poor Yuri.
Yeah, but he wouldn't mind
Where
a
do you-
rifle on the way out.
Where do I go? Oh,
There's
there we
one.
go. I'll take that
Yeah,
and I'll... Right. No, he won't.
Now, but now FASHR's looking at him like, I think he knows he's
getting the
boxed
side
in
eye.
here, right? Like, you know that if they took B this fast, they're probably just going to have a plant down for ramp. They're going to be holding it from here. So I assume, yeah, look, here we are. They're going to try and help him out.
That's called teamwork, everyone.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
Well, he had support.
Yeah.
He definitely had some support there, and he gets
To
an
be
AK
fair,
for
you
his
know,
troubles.
He's saying, like, yeah, any chance you can, like, deep smoke B lane from back donut, actually.
Well, you never said howdy.
Yeah.
You know, you just said. All right, well...
Have you seen the wall bang you can do from donut into cave? Have you seen this?
it's through
Is it-
the
is it-
mid-wall where I flash
Yeah,
over to sometimes
yeah,
help
yeah,
out the B
yeah.
site, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an AWP-only wall
Yeah,
bang?
AWP only.
It's the bit where you cross the threshold from like stage 1 to stage 2 cave.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
pretty
we've seen
sure.
people bang into it from B site.
Yes.
So from cave side.
Yep.
Okay, from donut.
Harry's going to investigate first hand. I think you need to leave the server
Yeah.
first.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
But this is going to be the third time out for FURIA now. Now, look, this has been quite a hotly contested map. There's been lots of crazy moments. nicoodoz in the first half on the AWP was doing mad work. He even had a big round that he clutched out over towards that B bomb site. So he's been having a lot of impact. Roy's been doing what Roy does best. I think a lot of the rounds as well for FURIA, they've been playing FURIA with a twang, like
With
a
a
nice
European
twang.
marinade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a Maltese.
Like you put them in a
rabbit
Tupperware
stew.
and you just gave them like 24 hours of European marinade. And now they've still got that FURIA, twang, but it's subdued.
Here it is, Harry.
here
They're
you go, Harry.
showing the bang
Oh,
here.
yeah, this is the one.
J-Raz doing that for you, mate.
God
You
bless him.
can thank him later. Right, not a heavy mid defense here by any means.
Yeah, you surely are just have to accept this is not... Oh, yeah, late. Nade doesn't connect. And actually, nicoodoz is going for a rather forward maneuver.
Very forward.
And he's actually one of the few AWPers
jump
that
again.
goes for a lot of these. Now with the missed shot, he will have to turn tail. Does get away. Everything's fine. The man advantage yet to be posted.
They want to aggro this. That's what they're set up for here with Yuri up close. They heard nicoodoz burning. They know that fnatic are willing to fight them here, and so they will just call it off eventually.
Look at this interesting skirmish potentially happening on A. KSCERATO, the best player for FURIA, left with an MP9 holding from the tree position. Any damage he gets done here is great.
Yeah, and Art will swing upon it. Oof, nothing, but then Art with the response. Crims keeps fnatic's head above water. Catch is safe, and they're going to A. They want to target Art, or at least have him calling for help. Flashes are in. It's no secret they're heading towards the donut position. 3 flashes over in. Actually, Art swallows the 4th.
He's been spotted.
Yeah, he's in trouble, and it's a clean kill. Roy converts. Looks like fnatic can tie things up here.
I think more than that, right? Because this loss bonus is starting to build on the other side, sure. But FURIA, in what I would say is the last 3... the stretch of the last 3 rounds, they've been all fnatic rounds, right? It's been quite clear that fnatic are going to win most of these engagements. The AWP has been picked up from drops. That's going to be something tidy for him to try and save here. I am curious on a couple of things. Once we do get Maniac and Yanko back on the couch to break down this matchup, I want to see if they have the similar sentiment to us about FURIA playing a little bit more of a standard style of Counter-Strike. And second of all, I want to get their takes on drop. right? Because Drop's been there for an awfully long time, right? He was also an academy player once upon a time here, but he's the more supportive element of this team. You look at the scores on the doors right now, and I know as much as everybody that the kills don't necessarily reflect, you know, what's going on in the server, the flashes, the communication that he's giving, everything that he's contributing to the game right now. But to only be at 6 kills when the game's tied up 13-13, now would be the perfect time for a double kill. Now would be the perfect time for an opening exchange. Now would be the perfect time for Drop to do something here, right? So even those 6 kills, he can walk away from this game with 10, as long as they win, right? This is where he needs to find some impact. Need to see if they can pull themselves out of this one here, FURIA.
Yeah, I think one of the other things that's been awkward as well is like some of the spots and some of these B plays have been very like what I would call like an all or nothing spot to play.
One
it's
or
like
done,
you're either gonna have a mow down, a multi-kill, or you're gonna die doing nothing.
There we
this
go.
has to be a big round for Drop. There's 2 as they come up ramp. He's hanging around on the angle. Spam comes his way. Doesn't want to go down here. Instead, Yuri can be that next point of contact. Dink on a FASHR. The nade could even find him. Brings him down even lower. And Drop has successfully repelled this all-in B offensive when it really matters. He's given FURIA a lifeline in this round.
Now that's it. That's what we're looking for here, that impact, right? You don't have to talk about it in the context of, right, the 8 frags in total that is here. You talk about it in the context of he might have just secured his team 14. So Drop stepping out when he has been called for here.
A boost on the boost box. It does mean they could get caught out by, a jumpy shot or a quick gap on that fading smoke, but not going to give him anything. FURIA, you've got a 2-man advantage. It's been a 4-round run out of fnatic.
I know it'd be a bit like a Cirque du Soleil act here, but has anyone ever tried to triple boost on that box?
Triple?
I know
you can
it's-
peek short side?
I feel like you would just be sliding.
I know it's
right?
precarious.
Because I think anywhere you tried to look, like if you try looking towards
That's
short,
right, you
you're just
don't have
gonna
anything
fall
to
the
jump
left.
into.
Like,
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
If you try to peek long, I feel like you're just going to slide off, and then you'll take full damage, and then that sucks for everyone. 2 teammates have just been naded. They're hating you for calling this strat. Man, why are we always boosting? What the hell? Right, nicoodoz up the ramp side, dead, and destroys the fnatic ramp push, or what's left of it. Even turns around to find that last.
That's why I brought him up, because as soon as he gets kills now, they need to be painted as absolute gold, because this is what this is. This was a B rush. As him as one of the key B defenders. He mows down 2 on the way in the door. So great round from him, and fantastic stuff from Art here to close things out in stylish fashion as well. But here we go into round number 28. We're getting tight.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting round. They got 3 out mid. No one contesting initially. KSCERATO keeping it cool. And he's flashed off from the donut side. So now they have to be aware that there's potential for Red Room to be sprung. Aren't responsible. And this is aggressive. Yuri could be heading on into the scope of nicoodoz if he does toe the line too far. Crim's down on red. Oh, nicoodoz has let that one go. Just between the toes.
That's more than enough info. You've alleviated the pressure from the red house. You know that the AWP is over towards the B lane. You can reconfigure right here if you're FURIA. You're feeling very good about this round.
Stopped in their tracks, fnatic. Roy, dangerous game being played.
They're coming back around for this. We will have a skirmish towards B.
Yeah, this one's going to be a real bare-knuckle brawl because they're going to walk upon the fade here. FASHR and Roy in receive. 54 and counting. FURIA don't need to move a muscle. This setup is going to be on their own discretion. Maybe when they hear that pin pull. FASHR responsible for the hold. FASHR has to contain this, shows the shadow, nades are falling, reveals it, baits it. Mezzy did have his nades out, gets the AK out in time, but they need more. Still, FURIA have the legs up in this round.
Yeah, nicoodoz through cave, Yuri boxed in, but he delivers. 1 kill on the ramp play. nicoodoz trying to get a move on, but it's going to be hard being this first point of contact. Mezzy alleviates some of the pressure there by getting them into the site with this kill. Tap on the bomb, and nicoodoz holds the cross, but that swing from Mezzy now means the bomb is away from fnatic. 5 seconds, nicoodoz would need all the kills. No time to plant means the round is FURIA's. They steal 15 away. Safe wins it to time.
And you can't really fault Mezzy either. You know, like his intentions were good. It's just a product of it that makes nicoodoz an unwinnable clutch scenario. And for such an important round as well, 15 on the board for FURIA.
That was the opener onto Art, from Art onto Crim's top mid there. Drop gets 1, traded immediately, and then at this point, you're just kind of pulling fnatic apart 1 frag at a time. So Mezzy faked, yeah, and stepped into it.
Spewed out of him as well.
That's the issue, right? And you're going to be kicking yourself that you didn't just sit it. Mezzy doesn't have a gun right now. Just has a... well, he's got one now. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Just an awkward start to this round. I did want to highlight fnatic had the saved AWP, and they bought another AWP, and there was a gun on the ground, but that's already done. That's already dusted, and so might this map be. fnatic having to walk in a 4v5 disadvantage situation here. And the harassment just keeps on coming. This one here feels like it's gone down the drain. Felt like they brought it back into a position where they were still able to contest, but now they're just scratching a hold on.
Yeah, and I mean, this is another opener. This will be his 8th. 8 and 5 in opening duels. He's been taking an awful lot of them.
Dude, I mean, having him take a lot of fights is one, you know, that's like par for the course. But having him winning this many is the important thing, right? That's wild. And I think it just shows how, you know, like what we've kind of been feeling, you know, some of these opening moves are just a lot more put together.
But that's one of the scary things with this team is when it works, it's great. When it doesn't, what's the B-C-D game, right? And today I think we've maybe seen a little bit more of the B and the C game of them approaching it, not just needing art to find those openings. Again, disruptive utility over towards B, but there's already 3 players planted for FURIA here. They don't need to rotate either KSCERATO or Safe, and that's where the AWP lies over towards A, and that's where the fight's coming in through Donut. A will be the finish.
Safe. He's posted for this, and they nearly line up for him. Could have been a collab, but Mezzy down, forced to watch as this round looks to be the last on fnatic's map pick. 13 seconds, so many bodies on the site. They just line up for KSCERATO, and that's done. 16-13, and happy with that are FURIA. A magnificent performance, and I have to say, yeah, the art conversation is a big one. If he can hold on to that form, you've already got Yuri and KSCERATO, put that in a bottle and keep hold of that. fnatic will have a chance to respond as we head to our second map, Anubis.